Power 98.7.
Zewande Bhengu, where would you like to go next? What's the next poem you'd like to share with us?
I think a lot of people who know my work know that I write a lot about domestic abuse and rape and just general women and child abuse. Quite a lot. And so I think the next.
Why is that?
Because I come from a house that was destabilized by that. I come from a house where I ended up being raised by my mother. My single mother, due to those circumstances. So I think that kind of it has a feel into my work, and it influences it.
All right, so let's hear something.
I have seen my mother dripping off the walls, molten onto the floor, woven into the carpet, parts of her bolted onto the door. Her lungs barely holding breath, she has learned how to breathe through her pores. She heaves and floods the room with a fog, breath clinging on to the windows, skin spread thin on broken bones. The ceiling holds whispers and whimpers of prayers. I have seen my mother sinking into the floor, drowning in the concrete, spirit tattered and torn, dragging both feet, teeth scattered, knees battered and dormant. I have seen her crawling, sprawled, scaling this floor-turned coffin for part of her heartbeat she lost in the torment. I remember scraping her off the floor with my quivering arms and hands for shovels, then shape-shift my shoulders into a crutch. At times, she's a bag of bones, as if harboring nothing but anvils, hovering over steaming pots and a stove. Walking becomes a grinding of ankles, talking feels like churning up stones. I have seen her skin rippling in the wind. It's not stretch marks, but stitches. It's not a heartbeat, but beatings. There is no floor in our kitchen. There is only a graveyard, tombstones marking all her burials, a 6-foot hole for tomorrow's funeral. We buried her smile right there, under the doormat. My father taught me what it means to love someone to bits, shredding limb and limb, shedding skin and being. He taught me that love hurts at times being every day. We have had so many funerals in this kitchen. We tiptoe so not to disturb my mother's spirit. Our father fancied himself a god whose wrath was a wave of wailing knuckles. The kitchen was his church, his feet are the pulpit, his raging in his purge. Tithes are loose teeth. He is the Father, the Son, and the Spirit. He is the father to a keen-eyed child, the son to a withering earth, a haunting spirit. He is a blessing and a curse. He speaks through burning the spaces he inhabits. I used to wonder about the fire in my mother's eyes, and one day, right there, she dug a grave for all her burnt innards. She no longer reads the Bible. She buried her prayers in her tongue. He buried her tongue in his hand. She does not speak, lest his open palm escorts cheek to wall. Here, there are no answers to question. Lessons are taught in hurting here. I don't like scrambled eggs. It sounds like glass breaking, smells like flesh burning, looks like a pummeling. This is how he channels in new information. There is no I didn't know here. There is only dying. There is no apologizing. There is only a funeral. Another 6-foot hole becomes a home to a crumbling, a burial here. Wrath speaks in torn skin and broken bones. There is no I didn't know here. Only apologies that sound like hymns. I am afraid that one day he will not bury a part of her, but all of her. Not a smile, not a voice, not a heartbeat, not a limb, but all of her. And not in this kitchen, but in a ditch somewhere out there.
He is Zewande Bhengu on Power Life on Power 98.7. That is so powerful. That is so, so powerful.
Power 98.7 Podcasts.